I became a Baha'i in Korea 1968. First thing I did, I traveled all of the South Korea in the villages and to be with the girls and women of the village. And oftentimes I will ask husbands to join us and to explaining to them how much it would be better if your girl's educated and your wife's educated. They will be able to contribute more to the family and overall for the community. After all, world peace starts at the home and in the neighborhoods. So I don't think we should always dwell on what the politicians is not doing, but we can do it ourselves. Rather than concentrating what's wrong, what's not happening now, I want to build a better world by one from my home and neighborhoods and the community. I found goodness in every human being I meet. And then I try to concentrate that and then try to filling up this closeness and look at positively. My name is Hanju Kim Farley. I was born in 1949 in Korea. Right now, I'm living in Los Angeles, California. I am retired from public health field, but what I do, I involve with the community development activities. I love gardening. I have developed when we moved this area 2003. I consider it a meditation. And then I do enjoy flower arrangement. And then I used to draw a calligraphy. I was born in Korea, and my father was a university professor. My mother was a school teacher, but when she married, she stayed home and to raise 5 of us. I have 2 younger sisters and 1 brother, younger brother. My father was a Buddhist, my mother was a Catholic. And they had a perfect harmony. They didn't interfere each other's religion. I saw the harmony between 2 of them. And I was exposed freely Buddhist temple and the Catholic church. At Christmas time, I go to church, and the fondest memory is that going up to the mountains, and I see the stream coming down. And my father will say, let's stop and touch this water. And I put my hand and touch this clean water flowing down. One day I was first grade. I came from school. My father was home, and then I was very upset. My father asked, why are you so upset? So I said, oh, there was a mother of my school friend. He came with the cash money in an envelope and gave to teacher. And then my father said, what's wrong with that? Well, that's kind of a bribe, and then if a teacher receives money from her mother, she will pay more attention and love my friend more than us. So that's not fair. And then my father smiled. And next day, he gave me a stack of white paper. Those days in Korea, it was very rare. He gave me, so why don't you take this to your teacher? So I was happy. big, smiling. I carried this heavy stack of paper. I gave to the teacher, and teacher kind of patted my head and then tell me that to thank your father. And then she gave me, all students give a paper divided to, and then told them, do your homework today. It's a special treat from Hanju's father. So you do the homework in this paper. So everyone was happy. So I came home, my father said, how was it? I said, oh, everyone was happy. My teacher was happy. She patted my hair. So he asked, so what's the difference then that the mother who brought the money gave a teacher, you brought the gift too, the paper to your teacher. What is the difference between two? And he said, he wrote it this instance in his diary. That's why I remember actually more. I said to him, well, difference is that money is only used for the teacher. But this paper was shared by everyone. So it was everyone's happiness. And then my father smiles. See, you see the difference? So giving gift is nothing wrong, but how that gift is used. What was the intention of a gift? And I went to the college. And I was thinking, now I'm in college, what is the life, the goal of my life now? And so I started investigating more closely Buddhism and Catholic. And then I found the truth in their teachings. However, the Buddhist monk will try to tell me the Catholic is not for Korea, it's a new one came in, you should stick to the Buddhism. I go to the Catholic church, and Catholic nun will say, well, Buddhism is very old, not up to date to now, so you should turn to the Catholic. You come church more often. So I found the conflict. I decided I don't like that feeling, so I stopped going neither of a place. Then I met this English professor from America who was a member of a Peace Corps serving in Korea. He happened to be Baha'i. So he introduced me a Baha'i faith and gave me address of a Korean Baha'i Center, a national center. So one day I decided to go investigate. I went. I said, well, my professor told me this is a Baha'i faith, and I came here to investigate. So I was invited to in, and nobody was there, very quiet. So I said, well, my purpose is investigation. So don't try to preach me, but I'm here to investigate. And he said, we have 10 lessons. Would you like to study? So I said, yes, I come every Sunday. So I went there for 10 Sundays. Each time I hear about it, the principles, I thought, very much what I thought. And I was taken really interest. So I start going further. There are discussion classes that they call fireside, that a lot of young people get together, study, and different aspects of Baha'i faith on. So I become a friend with all of them. I wanted to go to the Baha'i gatherings called 19-Day Feast. I went there, I was in devotional part, and I was so impressed that there was no preaching, but there were readings, recitation of the writings and prayers, And there were one person from Iran and chanted these beautiful Baha'i prayers. And I was so impressed. My heart then, it was so moved. And I was really happy. And then I thought, maybe I should also start reading the Korean prayers in Korean, but more poetic way. I guess influenced by somewhat motivated by listening for the first time Persian chanting. 하느님이시여, 얼마나 많은 얼었던 가슴들이 당신의 길 가르침의 불길에 탔으며 얼마나 많은 잠자던 사람들이 당신의 아름다운 음성에 잠을 깨었을까. 또 얼마나 많은 나그네들이 당신의 I also went along with the Baha'i youth to visiting villages. They wanted to share their principles of Baha'u'llah's message. And I went along and see how they're doing. And then it was a fall after harvest, a little bit chilly. In the evening, we were sitting chief of a village, his house, and this Baha'i young man started sharing about beautiful principles about Baha'i faith. And I looked at the room. There was no woman in this room except me. All villagers were men, and even Baha'i friends were men. So I stopped. Please excuse me for a second. I said, where is a woman in this village? And the village chief said, the women are listening outside through the door. It's Korean village homes, doors are made is paper thin, so you can hear. So I said, oh, don't you want to invite them in? Those days, age of 7 until after that, the children are separated. And so woman and man is not supposed to be in the same place. When you go to the wedding ceremony, men, husbands sit on one side, woman sit on one side. So as I said, now changed those days. So I said, okay, but let me put this way. Would you, in your heart, would you like to invite, it wouldn't be nice, your sisters and daughters and your wives come in this warm room and listen to this wonderful message? They said, yes, we would, but they'll be shy. So I quickly thought about it. I said, you know what? I have a suggestion. I'm a woman. I'm not Baha'i yet, but I know enough principles I have learned last year. So if I speak, invite them, wouldn't they come in? So perhaps. So I opened the door, and all ladies heard, they're smiling, they came into the room and sat down. So I told the friends, if I speak wrong, please correct me, I don't mind. But it's important that I speak. So I started speaking to them, and especially when I start talking about equality between men and women, I use the analogy, the two wings of one bird of humanity. In order to this bird fly high, both left wing and right wing have to be strong. And oftentimes in Korea those days, left wing, let's say woman, was very much behind it, education and opportunities, upbringing, and boys were always raised high. So it was not balanced. So I said, it's time to develop this woman's possibilities and give opportunities so we can fly together. as I speak to their principal, this village woman, they were smiling, their eyes were sparkling. My heart was beating so hard with the excitement. And it was, I think, one of the happiest moments of my life. So then after that, about 5 women said they want to become a Baha'i. And so we had 9 new Baha'is in that village, and I used to go there visit. Since then on, my traveling in Korea throughout, it was one prime purpose: to elevate situation of a woman, education of a girl, and I focused on that. My parents and I had such a wonderful relationship. So what I did very smart in my part, when I learned first, I went home, shared from the beginning what I found. And they said, we never heard about that name. It's such a strange name, Baha'i faith. But we'll see what you learn. So since then, every lesson I took, every talk I attended, every book I read, I would share with my parents. So they were educated same time as I was learning about Baha'i faith. And so in Korea, the girls are not allowed to travel outside without parents. And after the dark, they are not encouraging, they're discouraging to go outside. But funny story is that most of Baha'i meetings is after sunset. So after I become a Baha'i, before that, so I told my parents after this experience of becoming Baha'i, I told them I become a Baha'i, and then their reaction is, we were wondering why you waited so long. Because ever since you start learning about Baha'i faith, your life is transformed, and you are happier, you seem to be very considerate to us, and more giving and loving, and we couldn't be much happier. So they gave me total freedom, and so therefore they gave me blessing when I went to the villages and traveled around Korea. Sometimes overnight trips and a few nights, and they trust me because I had a very open relationship. Later, I came to America to study and hoping that I want to go back to teach in university, because those days in Korea, women married have to quit their job except the teaching job, a government job. So I thought I'll go study in US and come back and teach in university. Anyway, so after a few years, I went back to Korea and went to visit Baha'i Center, and I told them I'm coming. So I saw Baha'i news, Korean Baha'i news, like American Baha'is, and they printed, it's a Korean Tahere visit, return to visit. I don't deserve the title, but I think it shows those days. So it doesn't matter what happened in the past. Whatever hardship you had in the past will act as a fertilizer for your spiritual growth for the future. So if your ardent wish is there, that answer will come like a breezes.